Hello, I am Kathleen Otumulak, and in this video, we're gonna have an art talk about one of the most influential artists of all time.
Claude Monet, an artist born in 1840, Paris, France. He was the leader of French Impressionist movement, literally giving the movement its name. Impressionism is a form in art in which the artist attempts to convey what they see. They prize this over an exact replication of what is exactly there. So how exactly did Impressionists break free from traditional realistic ways of making art during that time? They moved from the confines of the classroom to outdoors and started to paint in open air. They were fascinated by how the eye could see light in nature, and how images were affected by the time of day and weather. They also painted with regular people in ordinary everyday life. Monet as an artist painted with bright colors and quick and loose brushstrokes, as he portrayed the impression of an image and the effect of light on it. And as the artist Vasily Kandinsky said, this created a sense of fairy tale power and splendor. Claude Monet, being obsessed with the way light reflected on water, decided to buy a boat and convert it into a studio. This way, he would get unique point of views in which he could fully exploit the visual effects of light reflections. Edward Monet made a portrait of Monet in his studio boat in 1874. I find this painting quite adorable. You see Monet in his little boat wearing his little hat, peacefully painting while being watched by Camille Donjou, his soon-to-be wife. They met in 1865, and 2 years later, they'd have their first son, Jean, and then later on got married. Monet genuinely loved Camille Donjou. She was his muse. He painted her more than he would paint anybody else, and I love that. In his painting, Woman with a Parasol, that features his wife and his son as the subject, is a painting that looks like it could have been taken from a movie. Camille's silhouette with her parasol looks down at the viewer, magnifying her presence and placing her and his son in front of a clean blue background. It's such a beautiful portrait, and the angle of which Monet paints his family shows just how much he holds them close to his heart. Camille unfortunately died from cancer at the young age of 32. While Monet was greatly affected by Camille's death, shortly afterwards he began to paint what are considered some of his best works of art. Monet continued to study the effect of light and color in series painting, in which he painted the same image of different times of day. He showed the effect of light and color and how this could change the impression of an image. He also often painted in his gardens at his home in Giovanni in France. He was a master architect for his gardens and even imported lilies from Egypt and South America and planted them for the scene for one of his most famous works of art. His water lilies now filled this gallery, standing over 6.5 feet tall and 40 feet wide. He even built a Japanese bridge in his garden and painted it 17 times, the very year he built it to reflect the changes of light and weather. Monet suffered from depression throughout his life to even destroyed some 500 works of his art. Nevertheless, art was a refugee for Monet, and he continued to make it until the last year of his life in 1926. He even said that his only meant in life lies in having painted directly in front of nature, seeking to render his impressions of the most fleeting effects.
And this is the very reason why I chose Claude Monet. His masterpieces caught my heart and embedded a sense of belongingness into me. Because just as how much he loved painting breathtaking sceneries, flowers and lilies, and most especially his wife, is just as how much I love and appreciate every brushstroke, every detail, every color, and how beautiful his masterpieces are. Claude Monet, I'll forever be in awe.